Your husband? Yes, he's still standing there. He couldn't be more quiet than if he were a stake driven into the ground. I don't like quiet men. And you say, he's always been so. Well, I wish he wouldn't be so outside my door. And you say, he won't leave until he sees her. What for? So he can turn his lip up at her again? Both of you are so stupid. Both of you. He'll see you, and love will flood into his eyes, and he'll say anything you want to hear. And then one morning, I know how it happens. He'll begin to ask ugly questions, but he won't want to hear the answers. And no matter what you say, he won't be satisfied. And Cherie, don't look away from me. Are you prepared to tell him the truth? We know, don't we? The woman he loved is dead. He left her for dead. See, this is your home now. Mama, take good care of you. But if you want to go back out there, go. But your village, your people, they won't understand. Oh, they'll say they will. They'll say they will. But you know, underneath everything, they'll be saying to themselves, think, she's damaged. She's been had by too many men. She let them. Those dirty men, she let them touch her. She's a hoe. And Salima, are you strong enough to stomach their hate? It'll be the worst thing you've felt yet. I'm not being cruel, but your simple life, the one you remember, the one you long for, is vapor. Sherry is gone. Now, don't cry. We keep our faces pretty. I'll send him away. Okay? Okay? I'll make him go away. Yeah?
This ghastly state of things is what you call bun bearing, I suppose?
Yes, and a perfectly wonderful bunberry it is. The most wonderful bunberry I've ever had in my life.
Well, you've no right whatsoever to bunbury here.
That is absurd. One has a right to bunberry anywhere one chooses. Every serious bunburyist knows that.
Serious bunburyist? Good heavens!
Well, one must be serious about something if one wants to have any amusement in life. I happen to be serious about bunburying. What on earth you are serious about, I haven't got the remotest idea. About everything I should fancy, you have such an absolutely trivial nature.
Well, only small satisfaction I have about this whole wretched business is that your pal Bunbury is quite exploded. You won't be able to make yourself out to the country as quite as often as you used to, my dear Algie, and quite a good thing it is, too.
Your brother is a little off colour, isn't he, Jack? You won't be able to disappear to London quite so frequently as what we can customize. Not a bad thing either.
And as for your treatment of Miss Cardew, I must say that you're taking in such a sweet, innocent, simple girl as that as quite inexcusable, to say nothing of the fact that she is my ward.
I can see no possible defense at all for your deceiving a brilliant, clever, thoroughly experienced young lady like Miss Fairfax. To say nothing of the fact that she is my cousin.
I simply wish to be engaged in Miss Cardew. That's all. I love her.
I simply wanted to be engaged to Cecily. I adore her.
Well, there's no chance of your marrying Miss Cardew now.
I don't think there is much likelihood, Jack, of you and Miss Fairfax being united.
It's no business of yours.
Well, if it was my business, I wouldn't talk about it. It's very vulgar to talk about one's business. Only people like stockbrokers do that. And then merely at dinner parties.
See how you can sit there calmly eating muffins when we're in this horrible trouble. I can't make out. Seem to me to be perfectly harmless.
Well, I can't eat muffins in an agitated manner. And the butter would probably get on my cuffs. One should always eat muffins quite calmly. It's the only way to eat them.
I say it's perfectly harmless you're eating muffins at all under the circumstances.
When I'm in trouble, eating is the only thing that consoles me. Indeed, when I am in great trouble, as anyone who knows me intimately will tell you, I refuse everything except food and drink. At the present moment, I am eating muffins because I am unhappy. And besides, I am particularly fond of muffins.
Well, there's no reason for you to be eating them all in quite that greedy fashion.
I wish you had tea cake instead. I don't like tea cake.
Good heavens, I suppose this man may eat his own muffins in his own garden.
You've just said it was perfectly harmless to eat muffins.
It was harmless of you under the circumstances. That is a very different thing.
That may be. But the muffins are the same.
I wish to goodness that you would go.
You can't possibly ask me to go without having some dinner. It's absurd. I never go without my dinner. No one ever does. Except vegetarians and people like that. And besides, I've just made arrangements with Dr. Charles to be christened at 5:45 under the name of Ernest.
Oh, my dear fellow. The sooner you put that out of your head, the better. I've made arrangements myself this morning, Dr. Charson, to be christened at 5:30. Now, naturally, I shall take the name of Ernest, Gwendolyn would wish it. Both can't be christened Ernest. That would be absurd. Besides, I have the perfect right to be christened if I like. There's no evidence whatsoever to say that I've been christened before. I should think it extremely probable that I have not. And Dr. Chasuble agrees. Entirely different in your case. You have been christened already.
Yes. But I have not been christened for years.
But you have been christened. That's the important thing.
Quite so. So I know my constitution can stand it. If you're not quite sure about your ever having been christened, I must say I think it rather dangerous you're venturing on it now. It might make you very unwell. You can hardly have forgotten that someone very closely connected to you was nearly carried off this week in Paris by a severe chill.
But you said yourself that severe chill isn't hereditary.
It used to be, I know. But I dare say it is now. Science is always making wonderful improvements in things.
Oh, that's nonsense. You're always talking nonsense.
Well, Jack, you're at the muffins again. I wish you wouldn't.
But I hate.
There are only a few left.
But I hate tea cake.
Then why on earth do you allow it to be served up for your guests?
Algie, why don't you go? I have asked you to go. I do not want you.
I haven't quite finished my tea yet. And there are still a few muffins left.